Welcome to the Blue Cafe. We bring you stories of faith, love, and devotion. Yeah, just kidding, please help us grow by hitting that like button. Now on to the story. Caught my partner after being in the hospital with my sister. Seeking advice. Edit, she came home. I'm gonna sit her down and try to confront her and talk about everything and decide what I'm gonna do. I'll post an update for everyone in the morning. Thanks to all of you with the kind words of support and helpful advice. Edit number 2, so after she came home I confronted her. Told her that I saw what she had done. She almost immediately started breaking down, crying, telling me how sorry she was, how it would never happen again. I had told her that I want to know every instance that it ever happened. She reluctantly accepted and told me that it started last summer, when my touring schedule got very hectic, and I was barely home, and it was only ever with her one friend who I shall not name. The truly despicable thing is her friend is married with 2 kids, and one on the way. She then tried to word everything like it was my fault as her sadness turned into anger, white-hot volatile anger. She started yelling and screaming at me, saying it was all my fault. If I was just home and not, as she said, touring with my stupid band playing music that didn't matter, and I'm not going anywhere anyways. I should have just made her my number 1 priority. And that the final nail in the coffin was when she said, and your stupid ducking sister should have been a second priority to me. I don't care if she's sick, I need you. That made me realize she was not remorseful in any way, and in fact was not the sweet person I thought she was, and she is truly not the kind of person that I want to spend the rest of my life with. With the help of my best friend that I had come over, she was a quite massive help and a comfort, knowing that they were there to support me. I told my now ex that me and her were done. I will help her pack, but she can't live here anymore. She started yelling, saying you can't just kick me out. I have nowhere to go. That's why I informed her I have notified your sister and your mom of what you've done with any and all the proof that I have, and they are waiting for you. I had already preemptively packed most of her stuff up for her as she started throwing another temper tantrum, yelling at me, slapping me, throwing stuff at me, saying I'm making a huge mistake and she was the best thing that ever happened to me and she's as good as I'm ever gonna get. After about 2 hours of her doing this, causing a massive scene, I got her to get into the car with me and drove her to her mom's. Her mom lost it on her almost immediately. It was just a good feeling knowing people were on my side. Thanks again for all of you, for the help, to all of you with your helpful, sweet and kind words. I need help, advice, please, literally anything. For context, I, 26M, my partner, 25F, we'll call her Lily. We've been together for 3 years. I just don't know what to do at this point. My older sister, 31F, let's call her Sasha, got diagnosed with ovarian cancer, had a massive ovarian cyst and was in rough shape after having it removed. Spent a few days in the hospital with her, but late the other night I decided I'd not spend another night at the hospital and I should go home. Upon arriving home, I heard some interesting sounds coming from the bedroom upstairs. As I was walking to the stairs, I found an empty wine bottle on the counter and clothes on the floor. I headed upstairs, slightly poked the door open and saw her in bed with one of her friends. I didn't know what to do, so I pulled the door slightly shut, careful not to make any noise, and headed back downstairs. Got back in my car and went back to the hospital. Spent the night with my sister as she was doing a bit better. I came home. Lily greeted me at the door, happy as can be, claiming that she missed me and said she was sorry that she didn't call or text while I was in the hospital with Sasha because she had been super busy with a work project. I haven't told her that I know what she did. I haven't alluded to anything. She's noticed I've been exceptionally cold. I haven't been able to stomach sleeping in the same bed. She keeps questioning me, asking what's wrong, if it's something she did, and I just keep saying nothing. I don't know what to do, so I told her. Do I get up and leave, or do I tell her and try to fix everything? What do you want? I've wanted to spend my life with this girl, I still do, but I don't know if this is the first time or if this has been happening a while. I gave up everything for this relationship, saved up all year for the perfect ring. List out the reasons why you want to marry her, then analyze if the personality traits and what you now know matches. In So Sorry This Has Happened, pensive face. I would check her phone when she's not looking and see if you can find any evidence or communication on how long this has been going on with this pos friend and how they have been carrying on in this deception. The details of the cheating is most likely in her phone/chat apps/social media/texts and emails. You will get all the details that she would be not willing to tell you if you just confronted her and she deletes everything in her phone and just yells a bunch of denial and lies and covers up to minimize the damage. At least you'll see what she's capable of and honestly assess if she is still the person you want to marry and then make your decision. If you decide to reconcile, you can filter through the lies and denial and what danger points to look out for if certain sites or apps or places that were used during the cheating etc. Did any other friends know? Does the friend have a partner/relationship? The other betrayed partner deserved to know too. I'm really sorry again this has happened, pensive face. Going to be upfront, it's way too early to consider anything related to reconciliation. What I do recommend though is continuing the cold shoulder approach. It's called Grey Rock method. You know she's cheating, and you know she's lying. Second, is to have a private consultation with a lawyer. Do not tell her. You need to gauge what your options are, divorce or not. If anything, ask about a post-nup, if you're thinking of reconciling, or marriage annulment/divorce, need to know what your position is in case this happens. Third, focus on yourself now. Whatever you decide to do, just don't sacrifice her over your self-worth, meaning do not blame yourself for her actions, cheating plus lying. Emotions are going to be very raw for the foreseeable near future. If you need to take some time for yourself to think about things and process those emotions. Fourth, if you feel you need a temporary separation to sort things out, go for it. If you can't find a place, move into another room. You need time for yourself to think. Good luck to you, my dude. Thankfully we weren't married, embarrassed smiley face, but I did buy a ring recently to propose. Story 2. My wife wants to date other people. My wife 26F and I, 28 meters, have been together for 4+ years and we just moved back to her old university town. She is back with her old uni friends and one night after coming back from hanging out with them she said that one of the guys in the group said he still had feelings for her. They dated in uni. She tells me she has feelings for him too and wants to date him, just to see where things go or what could have happened and that we should have an open relationship while she explores this. The thing is that we are in her home country now where I am not able to work until I get my work visa and don't have much of a social life ATM. The only reason why I am here is for her and our future. I'm not feeling great about this or the idea of having an open relationship in general, which I told my wife, and her response was that I am being close-minded. I also offered to take a break for a couple of months so we both can do our own thing. She can date the guy and I can go back to my home country/travel, and then we can see how we feel afterward. She thinks that is too dramatic. Am I being close-minded? How should we navigate this situation? Have kids? If not, move back home and live your life. You packed up and moved to your wife's country for her, and all it takes is for her to see some old friends and your marriage is basically over. Then, when you don't comply with her request for an open relationship, it's your fault for being closed-minded. Stop being a doormat, dude. Move back to your home country. Preserve your dignity. Tell her to duck off. Straight up, this has to be a fake post. No history, no comments, a story that makes no sense. Who would actually handle this situation this way? Quiet. Basically the wife stumbled across an old flame, wants to date him, but needs op as a backup in case it doesn't work out. I'm normally all for communication and being open-minded, but not here. Take this person's advice. Don't be a doormat. Am I being close-minded? Is this a real post or a troll post? Sorry, but not wanting your wife to duck other people isn't being close-minded. It's a very normal boundary. The minute anyone with self-respect is told by their partner she wants to be with other people to see where things go is the minute they are broken up with. Don't accept a shit partner because you need it for a work visa. If that was out of the picture, would you even consider staying? You've been together for or so years. If you accept this now, you accept it for the next 40. That's not an open relationship. That's just asking permission before she cheats. Let's be very clear, by explore this she means duck this guy for a while and decide if she'd rather be with him. If an open relationship isn't entered into with vocal, enthusiastic consent from all parties, then it's not actually an open relationship. And lol at the idea that you going back home is dramatic but her ducking some other dude for a while isn't. I also think an open relationship should be entered into before you start to seriously look for prospective partners. It shouldn't be reactionary to meeting another guy you'd like to bang. Come on, she probably already has. If this is in fact true, op should be on the next flight home. Oh, probably. Emo if someone asks for a poly situation / open relationship and already has a person in mind, and not as a general conversation, there's almost always at least emotional cheating going on, and very likely physical as well. I'm surprised she doesn't force op to sit in the room and watch. This is pretty ducked up. Op should move back home and think about filing for a divorce. I agree with you, op should think about divorce. People get gaslight into these kinds of relationships and marriages too often. I would respect her more if she literally divorced him and said she doesn't want to settle after all. This is beyond power playing. In my professional opinion, you should tell her to duck off. Listen to this guy. He's a professional. And the guy who approved this guy is a professional approver. More reasons to listen to him. Story 3. Wife cheated to get out of DUI and car impound. Advice. As the title says, she ended up having an affair with this guy for 3 years. I called the police department and even talked to the chief. But they said they needed a name, and I don't know how I'm supposed to have that. I wasn't there when she got pulled over and wasn't involved with the affair. All they did was call her, which of course she denied, then had a detective talk to the male officers. Did they think that he would raise his hands and confess? She lost her job because she called in too much to see him. So I know she has been riding around with him, especially the week of October 24th through 28. So body cam footage and patrol car footage exist. It's a small department of 33 officers, and you can exclude the female officers from that. She may have even been in the building and they couldn't check that. If anyone has any advice on who I could contact over the chief or anything, I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you for taking the time to read this. Your wife didn't cheat to get out of a DUI, she cheated and got out of a DUI. It went on for 3 years. While the officer should certainly lose his job for this, your wife carried on this affair because she wanted to. Everyone on the police force knows who it is. They aren't going to do shit unless you can prove it, and even then, probably won't anyway. How far along are you on the divorce paperwork? Just have to wait till payday to file. Check your cell phone bill and see what phone numbers she has called the most. It's probably him. Secure the rest of your finances first. Make sure you have a place to go if you can't put her out. Lawyer up ASAP. If you have her confess over text, keep it. Read or listen to the audiobook for Leave a Cheater Get a Life to align your perspective before you act in a way that's not in your favor. Good luck. Almost all departments require a waiver form be filled out for a civilian ride-along. So if she was in his patrol car, there should be records of this. Ask the chief and tell them you believe she was in his car. At the least, if she was in there and filled out the paperwork, you can see who she was with. If she was in there without the paperwork, then the officer would be fired. One of the first things I asked, they never confirmed or denied if she did fill out the form. An attorney may help get to the truth of this. Please tell me you left her. You don't have to stay with her until the divorce is filed. You can leave with the understanding that this is just a separation until the divorce is filed. Yes, I did, moved out of state to get away from her. This sounds like a great story she told you to make herself a victim. You might have to dig a bit. You can get a list of officers that work there and cross-reference it with Facebook friends, text messages, and her contacts. If you can get the day and time this incident actually happened, the department will have a roll call of officers on duty that day/night. Keep us posted. Thank you so much for taking the time to help. I have tried this but came up empty-handed. I figure I'm not going to find out who until much later on, when it won't matter so much or anything can be done about it. I didn't plan on using it in the divorce anyway. That would take way too much time and energy, and I've already wasted 15 years. I was just trying to help get a predator off the streets. Don't mess with the police. They'll cover each other's asses every time, and they're extremely dangerous and well organized. Laws rarely apply to them. Just cut your losses on that front. Hate to break it to you, but statistically he probably wasn't the only person she saw during your relationship. Trying to track them/him down is a waste of time. She decided to neglect her job. She made a series of conscious choices to betray you. It sounds like she's trying to play the victim. Don't entertain it. Stay strong. If your brother retired from this police department, I bet he still has some connections there. Ask him to help you out and see what he can find. I tried, but he called me a liar. Then asked if this guy shouldn't be going around doing that. I said not in uniform and on duty. He also asked if he should lose his job over this. And when I told him about the app, he started crying and told me to come get my stuff. She left with him out on his porch for 2 days. I moved to another state when I found this out. Hey op, I might be reading more here than what is written. It almost sounds as if it's your brother who is the AP. I hope that I'm wrong and just missing a detail. Nah, he's been retired for a while. He hurt his back. He may have known who it was, or maybe they passed her around and he got a turn. I'm not sure. He wasn't the best brother. One of my other brothers asked him for a place to stay, had the extra room, but told him to go to the homeless shelter. I have read your post and comments. One of the glaring things that stand out is this one fact. She is locking you out of everything so that you cannot identify the AP. This means she is protecting him. Her comment on the phone, it was fun while it lasted. I do not think that this is a simple sex to get out of a DUI. And she cannot use the defense of he has film or photo that he will expose to you if she does not cooperate. You know now. Blackmail is off the table. And the fact that even your brother appears to be hiding something is another huge red flag. I wonder if there might be more than one officer involved. If it's a single officer, then the force is protecting him as he has a reputation or retirement to protect. I hate to ask this question, but how long ago did your brother retire? Your comments and his response seem suspect. And if you know it's not your brother, who might be the next officer with a lot to lose? His wife keeps a tight watch on him. Can you guess why? That's right, she caught him twice using his badge to have an affair. I recently talked to a woman who was married to an officer from that city. He abused her and would never be arrested for it. And from what she said, it happens more than you think in that city. My experience is that the police will circle around and protect each other. You'd probably have to get a lawyer to file to get the footage. Yeah, I talked with a lawyer. He wanted to charge by the hour for it. And I was like, nah, he can have her, and that city sleeps safe now. A predator roams their streets with a badge and gun. We hope that by sharing these stories with interested folks like you, we can help people recognize the signs of a relationship in trouble, and avoid so many of these heartbreaking situations yourselves. Have a good day or night, wherever you are.